how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Happy New Year. I cannot believe we're in 2025. Like, how did this happen? But we're here. I am very excited to kick off the new year. I'm excited to see all of what this year brings. I just hope some good things are brought to all of us this year. I feel like we all need it, and I am just looking forward to seeing what's to come. I am gonna kick off this year with my monthly favorites video. This is my December favorites. These are all of the things that I was really loving in the month of December. I have some skincare, some makeup, I have a fragrance, I have a movie, my favorite book of the month, all sorts of fun things, and I'm excited to chat with you. Before we hop into the video, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts by the time this video goes up. And as far as my accessories today go, I have this ring from Ana Luisa, and this one I honestly don't know where it's from. So there's that. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and chat about all my favorite things from the month of December. Let's start with skincare, because skincare is my first step of the day. So let's start with that. Pharmacy had sent me over a couple products last month, and I am loving this Honey Halo Ultra Hydrating Moisturizer. It is so nice. As you can see, I've used quite a lot of it. I've been using this both morning and night. It is just so good. I love the little metal spatula that it comes with. It feels very cooling on the face. I'm just really into this. I have normal to dry skin for reference, and I feel like my skin just absorbs this so nicely. It preps really nice for makeup, but it's also a really nice one to put on before bed. It's just so ultra rich and nourishing without it feeling like greasy nasty. This is so good. I've also been loving this lip mask that they sent me. This is the Lip Smoothie lip mask in Honey Vanilla. As you can see, I've also used quite a bit of it. It is so nice. To me, it smells like Waffle Crisp cereal or something. It's just very breakfasty. But again, I love wearing this first thing in the morning. I also love wearing it before bed. It just sinks into my lips so nicely without them feeling like greasy nasty. And it's also not like a lip gloss that's trying to pretend to be a lip mask, because I don't like things like that. Like if I'm wearing a lip mask, I want to feel nourished and hydrated, and this has been so lovely. Moving on to face, I have some blushes to shout out. I have been really enjoying the cream blushes that came in the Cosmic Brushes holiday collection at the very end of November. This one is the shade Nutmeg, and this one is the shade Mary. Blushes are pretty new for them, and I've really been enjoying this formula. So there's Nutmeg and Mary again. Very creamy, definitely a little bit more of that like creamy emollient blush formula. I've used some creams where like you apply it and it kind of dries down and blurs out sort of like a powder. This stays very creamy. Like it doesn't move around like crazy, but just know it is a little bit more of an emollient product. That's just the best way I could describe the texture. But I mean, it's beautiful and it blends nicely. I feel like the pigmentation is lovely. I love this gingerbready shade so much. I just love a toasty brown. It's so good. And I really love this soft, very just muted red. It's such a good color. I've really been enjoying these. I love topping creams on top of them. I pretty much always layer like some kind of liquid and cream with a powder. It's just my favorite, and these have been so lovely to play with. I've also really been enjoying my Duality blush palette from Adept. I bought this for myself when they were having a sale around Black Friday, and I'm really enjoying this, specifically the glowy blushes. I just can't get enough of these. They are so pretty. Like, remember when I just said I like to top a powder on top of liquids and creams? Blushes like this is perfect for that for me. I just love that glowy shine. They are so pretty. I feel like they very much give that blush lighter effect where it's kind of a blush highlighter hybrid. Works beautiful as a topper. I'm just really into these. Specifically, I really like this kind of lavender pink. I'm really into mauve blushes right now, and I feel like that complements it really well. So good. Let's get into eyeshadow palettes. I feel like eyeshadow palettes really popped off over the last month for winter. The winter launches have just been so good. It was really hard to narrow down, but I narrowed down my top 5 of last month, and these were all ranked very highly in my 2024 year ranking. So if you haven't seen that, you can check that out. It's all of the palettes that I tried in 2024. I ranked them. It was a long one. It was a fun one. Go check that out if you missed it. It was a lot of work. But in no particular order, the Gourmande Girls Frozen Kiss palette is so pretty. It's just lovely, kind of grungy winter. It is so pretty. We have such a good combination of like hollow chrome, soft dusty mattes. It is just so pretty. I really like this one. This one's so good. This was a Halloween launch technically. This is the Wicked Widow Beauty Tales of Terror, a Haunting palette. The packages for this just shipped out a bit later than the actual launch, so my PR package finally arrived last month, and I have been loving this. This is one of the coolest color stories. I feel like this is probably one of my favorite Halloween palettes I've ever seen in my life. I just love this. And if you're anything like me, you also love spooky makeup year round, so this is just delicious. The shimmers are absolutely incredible. These mattes are so just blendable and amazing. I love the grungy nature, but it's still very classic Halloween vibes. I love this. I love this so, so much. Definitely my favorite palette from the brand. Bella Beaute Bar collabed with Sassy Fairy and created the Realm of Fairies palette. This is just so pretty. This is like dusty, cool toned blue magic. It's just so good. I love this grayish blue sort of vibe. These shimmers are so, so pretty. We almost have like a tinge of periwinkle in here as well. It is just so good. This is one of my favorite brands, one of my favorite formulas, and I just love this color story. It's very me. I love like dusty blues and cool tones like this. It makes me so happy. This is a good one. This is absolutely fantastic. Last but not least, I did treat myself to the Artitude Cosmetics palettes that they launched, I believe, on Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken. The Urban Neutrals and the Vintage Neutrals, and I've been loving them. This is a new brand to me, and the Urban Neutrals is just so pretty. Are you kidding me? These colors are so cool. And then the Vintage Neutrals is just like such a vibe. I love just the artwork. I love the covers. I love the insides. They're just so fun and playful. I love the kind of take on like neutrally vibes, but in a colorful way. It's so fun. It's so fun. They're just such unique concepts, very fun color stories. I've really been enjoying the formulas. Like I said, it's a newer brand to me, but I've been very impressed. The shimmers are so glossy looking on the lids without feeling like overly emollient, because I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. I personally like it, but these are kind of that glossy, shifty vibe without them being like emollient. I know I've said that word 100 times on this video, but that's the best way to describe it. And the mattes are just so good. They blend themselves. I'm really glad I treated myself to these. The brand did include a couple extra palettes in my package, which was very sweet of them, and I'm very excited to test those out, so stay tuned for that. Moving on to lips. Again, the Cosmic Brushes holiday collection. This specific lipstick in the shade Ginger Snap, I'm wearing it right now. It's so good. Such a creamy formula, so comfy and lightweight. I just love it. This color's everything. I love a toasty gingerbread shade. Makes me really happy. Unearthly Cosmetics came out with these like menacing metals lipsticks, and they are so cool. I want to say there's like 7 or 8 shades. I have them all. I did do a lip swatch video on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, but I wanted to shout out my 2 favorites because they are very cool. This one is the shade Fury. It's kind of like a reddish purple color, kind of bricky brown too. It's so cool. And these are honestly the best metallic lipsticks I've ever witnessed in my life. I feel like they're metallic without looking overly shiny. I don't know if that makes sense. This is the shade Ancient. This is my favorite one for sure. It's like a dingy, like brownish gold. It is so unique and so weird, but I feel like when I wear these, I just feel powerful. I feel like the lipstick just looks so bold and so cool. And there's definitely like a sheen of metallic happening, but they don't look like that in your face, shiny metallic that I feel like a lot of us steer away from. Not to speak for everyone. I know there are people that are out there that are diehard metallic lipstick lovers. I can definitely take it or leave it for the most part. I feel like sometimes they're just a little too shiny and intense for me. It's just not the look that I enjoy. I feel like this is such a perfect balance of having that metallic sheen, but still just looking kind of like a lipstick. And I love it. I don't know how to explain it better than that. I think these are very cool. Been very happy with these. A couple other lips that I wanted to shout out. I did make a Black Friday order on Melt Cosmetics website as well because the lips were just so discounted and amazing. I picked up 2 more lip pencil shades. I already love these. I've shouted them out 100 times, but I did add Cashmere and Cinnamon to my collection, and I'm very happy about it. Cinnamon is right there. Just such a good shade, a nice, yummy, warm, you know, cinnamon-y colored brown. And then Cashmere is just a nice kind of softer neutral, super pretty. I've worn these countless times and will continue to do so. Then I also have a couple traditional lipsticks from Melt as well. This shade Laced I have had on my wish list literally ever since they launched it. I feel like 1,000 years ago. It is the coolest greigey shade ever. It's like that perfect like gray, beige, tinge of mauve. So cool toned. It is so pretty. I'm very, very happy that I finally have that shade. Another one that really stands out to me is this one, Lose My Number. I know I've talked about these like yummy warm lips a few times, and I'm gonna do it again. I love kind of a yellowy brown lipstick. I just think it's so cool. And this one is no exception. Just so pretty. I love Melt's lipsticks. I feel like They're a matte, but they're not uncomfy matte. Like they don't make my lips feel dry and nasty. They're still comfy, but they definitely have that matte finish. They wear really well. I feel like they just look pretty. Very cool colors, and I'm happy to have more. I did pick up more than just these two, but those are my standouts for sure. Moving away from makeup now and into fragrance, I did also pick up another fragrance. I picked up Kyalie's newest fragrance, the Yum Bougie Marshmallow, and it is so good. It really just smells like toasted marshmallow. It's just so nice. I love layering this with my vanilla scent from them. I have burning cherry as well that also kind of meshes really nicely. I just love that it's sweet, but still warm and toasty. It is just so good. I love a sweet scent. It's my favorite. I love sugar and vanilla and all those things. The sweet scents are my favorite, and this one is a good one. Definitely one of my tops I've tried from Kyalie. I want to talk about my favorite book of the month now. I did read it on my Kindle using the Libby app from my local library. So this was Make the Season Bright. This was by Ashley Herring Blake, and I'd heard of this author before. She wrote the book it's called Delia Doesn't Care or something like that. I think she typically writes queer romances, and I loved this one. I want to read more of her books so bad. This was an easy 5-star for me, and it was just such a perfect definitely festive Christmas time atmosphere, but it wasn't just that cheesy Christmas book. I do love a cheesy Christmas romance, do not get me wrong, but sometimes it just feels too cheesy, too repetitive, too predictable. This one I feel balanced a really good kind of complicated relationship dynamic with a really fun, festive sort of atmosphere. We have two main characters. First, we have Charlotte. She is a successful musician in a very popular string quartet living out in New York, but she's very much holding on to her past trauma of getting left at the altar 5 years prior from her childhood friend to lover. They were best friends growing up, turned into lovers, turned into fiancés, then got left at the altar. Her ex, Brighton, is also in the music industry. She's a singer-songwriter, and she works at kind of a club bar situation where local artists go and play. She's living out in Nashville. She's also holding on to her past trauma of leaving her ex at the altar, which at first I was very much why would I ever care about this person's side of the story? That's a horrible thing to do, but it becomes a lot more convoluted than that. Basically, Christmas time is here. Both of them, for different reasons, have nowhere to go for Christmas, and both of their friends invite them home to celebrate Christmas with their family. Turns out both of those sets of friends are sisters going to the same residence in Colorado. So Charlotte and Brighton are meeting for the first time in 5 years. Their friend groups do not know about their history or anything like that. So upon first initial interaction, Charlotte basically just pretends that she's meeting her for the first time because she doesn't want to really talk about anything or stir up any drama. Of course, though, as you would expect, after a few days, feelings are starting to come forth. Things are getting talked about, things are progressing. I just loved that these characters were complicated and flawed. They were not perfect people. They both had their own issues, and they really needed to kind of navigate getting over their past traumas and figuring out if moving forward is an option or if that ship has kind of sailed. I loved the festive Colorado setting. I love Colorado with my entire soul, so I loved kind of being back there in a book form. I loved all the different side characters. I loved all the Christmas festivities that were going on in the background, all the activities that they ended up participating in. It was just such a fun time. I felt like I was there. I loved it dearly, and I definitely want to read more from this author. Last but not least, I have to talk about Wicked. It has consumed my entire identity. It was just so good. Wicked was actually the first Broadway musical I ever saw in New York City, my first time ever visiting, and that's just such a core memory. And now being able to see it in movie form that I've been hoping for and pining for years and years and years, it was just everything I wanted it to be. The casting was amazing. I just loved Elphaba and Glinda so much. The songs were perfect. I've been listening to them and singing them on repeat. The costuming was beautiful. It was just cinematically so amazing. I did not get a chance to see it again in theaters, unfortunately. I really wanted to, but it might still be in theaters for all I know. I just, regardless, still have not seen it a second time in theaters. I really wanted to, but you better believe when it is available, I will buy or stream it and watch it 1,000 times. It was just so good. I love musicals so dearly, and this was just everything I wanted it to be and more. I'm so excited for part 2 to come out. I loved everything about it. I'm so excited about it, and it brought me a lot of joy, and I feel like it's been very much on my brain multiple times a day this entire month. So had to shout it out in my favorites. And yeah, I think that about says it all for my December favorites. These were the things that really stood out to me, the things that I was loving. I feel like I had a pretty good month. Like, it was very hectic, work heavy. And then I did get to spend a really good solid, a little over a week in a cozy cabin over Christmas time with my husband and his family, and it was just wonderful, and it was such a nice escape, and I'm really happy to be back. This is my first time filming since returning, so hello! Welcome to a new year. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. I appreciate you so much more than you could possibly know, and I'm just excited to see what we all get up to this year. I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you share similar excitement to the things I talked about today? What were some standout things for you in the month of December? I would love to know, whether it's makeup, skincare, food, something you did, something you watched. I would love to know what your favorites have been. If you made it to the end of this video, leave your current favorite emoji, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Helps my channel out a lot, and if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm BATTYBEAN there as well. Also, I would love it if you subscribed. I'm posting most days over here, and if you want to, you should hop over to my second channel, also linked in my description box if you would like some additional content. And also in my description box, you will find a link to my channel memberships. There's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks, and I would love to have you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.